Hi, I'm Greg Romero Wilson, and welcome to part 2 of The Girl Who Died 3 Times, The Open Door. In this segment, my sister Sarah discusses the real difference between this realm and the next, the dangers of interacting with the spirit realm, and finally, demon possession. I hope you stick around to the end for a very special message about how you can help Sarah's incredible journey continue. And now, part 2, The Open Door. All right, so where were we?
When I was 6.
Right, so you were 6, right. So you then were in basically a 3-day chemically induced coma.
Yes.
And then you came out of that.
Yes, but they weren't able to get me out of that. My parents had to bring me back. Dad and Mom always have been a team in church. They were ministers.
Yes.
So they knew a lot about the gospel, scriptures, things like that. So when that happened, they had the right, I don't know how to say it, like they just knew what to do.
Yeah.
So Mom went and prayed in the chapel, and you'll probably get her side of the story about it later on. But she did. She had to go wake me up. The doctors were getting very insecure and feeling that they were losing me because I wouldn't wake up. They had taken away all the drugs, and they thought by doing that, the pain would bring me back.
Right.
It didn't. And even in that moment, I remember feeling like I was in between, is what I would call it.
Okay.
Because it's like being stuck between two realms, where you know that that's where you should be, but you're kind of in this moment, and then there's a whole other side that you're still connected to. And it's like kind of playing like a game, like going back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I remember just feeling like I was just somewhere else, like just like I said, in between.
Yeah.
And then Mom came and she told me in my ear, "It's time for you to wake up, Sarah. Listen to my voice and wake up." And I remember hearing it on the other side and going, "That's my mom." And like just automatically thinking like, "I'm gonna go with my mom."
That's great.
And that's when I wake up. I remember I just kind of followed her voice back.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, she had to tell me what had happened and how I was asleep for 3 days. And then everything just started flooding back, all of it. And I had to tell her, like I saw myself in the surgery room, and I was bleeding out, and I died. I went somewhere else. I remember I told her the whole story.
Yeah.
For a minute, she thought maybe it was a hallucination or something like that. Until the doctor came in and I started telling him what he did wrong. And then I saw him do it in the surgery. And he told my parents, "That's impossible. What did you do?" He's like, "What did you do? What did you give her to wake up? And how would she know this? There's no way that your daughter should know these details," is what they told her. And I remember my mom going, "Well, she woke up and she knows all of it." She goes, "She knows it. She saw it." And he said, "That's impossible. That's impossible. She should have any memory of it," is what he said. Not even an idea of what happened.
Right.
And there I was with the full-blown story of what happened.
Yeah.
And the shock of it and how I just took off. I was like, nope, checked out.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ugly, bye. And they were amazed. They were really amazed. And the doctors were very scared at what that could have possibly been because of the intel that I had about it. The fact that I knew details and what they were saying word for word was very, very shocking to them.
Yeah.
And Mom had to tell me, like, "You were in a coma and you wouldn't wake up." And I told her, "Well, I heard you. You told me to come home when I came back." I told her that. I go, "Well, I heard you." And I told her about the woman. See, the woman ended up being my mother's mother.
Our real grandmother.
Our real grandmother.
Who we've never met.
Who we've never met.
Right.
Exactly. So that's why I thought she looked like my mother, but I had no idea who she was.
Right.
Because none of us had ever met her. She died before any of us were ever born.
Yeah, she died when Mom was like 14 years old.
17.
17.
Of cancer.
Of cancer.
So it was very shocking. And my mom had no photos of her mother, so I had no idea.
Because our stepmother
was an awful woman. And she burned all of her pictures.
Step-grandmother.
Our step-grandmother.
Yeah.
She's burned all of my grandma's pictures and all of her clothes. So there was nothing left of my grandmother to know of. And it wasn't until years later, like I'm 15, maybe 16 years old, my Uncle David sends my mom a birthday gift. and it's a old photograph he had found that he has saved. And it was of my grandfather and my grandmother when they were young and first married. And when I saw the photo, I go, that's her. That's the lady. I go, that's her. That's the one who pushed me out of heaven. That's the one who sent me home. And Mom goes, that's my mom. And it just kind of like all clicked. It took me a long time to figure it out, but it finally clicked because I finally got the photo and I go, that's her. That's the woman from the other side.
Wow.
Who told me it's not my time.
And I've never seen this photo. I still haven't seen it.
It's in Mom and Dad's room right now.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the first time I had ever seen her,
And
ever.
you knew it right then. You're
And
like,
I knew it right there when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's her. Because for the longest time, all I thought was maybe it was an angel. Like just
right, who just looked like Mom to make you comfortable or
Yeah.
something? Or yeah.
like that took on an appearance to keep me calm and to understand. No, it was my grandma. She showed up. She showed up and she saved me, or I would have probably died because I was stuck in the in between where I could have gone either way.
Right.
I don't think.
Did you feel the choice was yours?
No. Not in that moment, no. I felt like it was being forced on because of the trauma.
Right.
Because of the fact that I saw myself like that, I went into shock and then I set myself away.
Right.
And when that happens, even though it felt really peaceful after I saw her and I met her, it felt incredible. Like after I came back, I didn't want to go back. Like
Right.
feeling that different after feeling such peace. I mean, there's no way to explain that. It's not something you can find here. I mean, you really have to find your soul within yourself to find that kind of peace.
Yeah.
It's something that is just really magical because it isn't like anything you have here. But then being on that side isn't like anything here either. It makes you realize the real difference.
Right.
Because being over there, everything human about me was gone.
Right.
The fear, the idea, the thoughts, just the plain feeling that you're always under when you're anxiety, when you're thinking of things, it's just gone. Just gone. And it's like you could be anything and everything all at once. And nothing can stop you. You're just beautiful. It's just perfect. I can't even put it in a word of how incredible it felt to be that peaceful with my grandmother,
Yeah.
to be that protected. And I had to learn that, it sucks because I'm here and you can't find that here, not all the time. I mean, certain people can learn to obtain it and control it and hold it in. And that will bring them their inner peace, which is totally possible, but it takes a tremendous amount of concentration.
So that's what you think meditation
Can be, yeah.
That's what it leads to.
Yeah, that's
is
what
a
I think it
state
is.
that is similar to the afterlife
Yes.
of stillness.
Yes, because it just isn't the same. Now, I think the reason why it didn't go as far is because I was brought back. Now, if I would have fully crossed over, then I would have seen maybe the real full-on realm.
Yeah.
But the fact that my grandmother showed up just proves to me they're there.
Yeah.
Shows that they're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there is a whole other realm because later on in my life, I've had to experience a lot of unnormal things. I've had to go up against spiritual entities that are not normal. And it is a process to learn because you're trying to live in this realm while having a flicker of a light to another. And it'll just set you off anytime. I don't have real control over it, but it came in when I died.
The people, okay, so I believe that there are some people for whom that door is open.
Yes.
And for the people who genuinely the door is open, it's usually connected to a near-death experience.
Near-death experience.
Like they went through it, came back through it, and the door stayed open.
Yes.
And the people that I think are charlatans are the ones that really are out there with it. Like I can see, I can feel, I know this, I know the future, and they try and make a lot of money with basically, maybe a heightened sense of empathy. But for the people that really see it, for people for whom the door is open, I feel like they don't want to use this in any way. They don't want this to be, they're having to tell you the experience, but they don't want to use this to try and decipher anything for you.
Well, that's another thing people don't understand is that when you have a real connection like that, it takes energy from you.
Yeah.
To have that kind of connection and to really be able to stick with it. Your body gets worn out like a machine.
Uh-huh.
And that kind of connection can pull a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah.
Especially if you are that connected. If you can sustain that door and open it whenever you choose, I mean, there's people out there who can, and they really know what they're doing and they know how to hold it. But
Oh, is that right? There are some that
there's some people out there who can do it, but I don't suggest it. Because just like there is a spirit realm, there are things in the spirit realm that we're not meant to do or know about or control.
Right.
And those are the things that can interact with you and that can cause major damage in your life.
Do you think like there's this drug like DMT, which I think is like an isolated drug that is out of ayahuasca, that opens the door?
Yes.
Oh, so that is a genuine opening of the door. Because there are people that they go on the other side and they're like, meet other people and have all these experiences with other people.
I don't think for 1 second it is an illusion. I think that they really are opening what I call maybe the third eye.
Right.
Because you're connecting to every human has it. And that's one thing that nobody wants to realize is that no matter how human we are, we're still spirits inside.
Right.
And our spirit connects to everything. I mean, energy, everything.
Right.
That's why these people are able to say like, well, I saw a ghost. Well, what happened? Well, the lights went off and on. Or the TV changed channels because it's energy. And we're able to control that energy. But we don't know that. Like they know that. That's why it's easy for ghosts to mess with us, for things like that to go awry when it goes bad, because it's energy. And then you feed the energy by giving into the energy. You're scared of it, so there's energy.
Oh, so if they can frighten you, get an emotion, you've given them power.
And that's a whole different subject, too. That's something I had to go through and learn, and my parents had to deliver me through it.
So for some people, the door opens up and then you can't close it. So you wake up from this surgery and now you have an open window.
Yes.
Or as you call it, a cracked window.
Yeah, I call it a cracked window because it's something I can't fully close, but it's also something I can't control.
Right.
But it's like having a sensor on you that will go off at any time. And it's about anything. You could be in a grocery store, and if someone is like got a really bad spirit or did something really bad, you're gonna feel it. And It's gonna make you sick. It's gonna make you really sick. And you gotta get away from that. Especially people who don't know God. I don't suggest trying any of this without having just any kind of belief in something higher.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that's where it all can go wrong. Because also, the other side has energy that's evil. And it likes to take on appearances of someone that you love or miss or that you're looking for. And then there's the door being opened.
And it's just open for them.
It's just open for them. And you're connecting to something that isn't right or isn't real.
Is evil energy exclusive to this planet? Is something specifically here on Earth to teach us something?
Yeah, basically. And something is don't mess with it.
Right.
Not if your intentions are not real, don't go for it. And 2, don't listen. Okay, 1, women who do card reading or have amulets, they have a spirit guide. Don't listen to them because that spirit guide has about 500 different spirit guides with them. And you're letting them in. You're opening the door because you're trying to find knowledge in the wrong way. Talk to your ancestors, talk to your family members that you're missing, and they'll come to you in a dream. They'll come to you in a vision. They'll give you just signs right in front of you. If you have the intelligence to understand or realize it, you'll connect.
Yeah, sometimes you want to ignore the signs because it's not the sign we wanted.
Exactly.
And so we're like, that's not the sign. It's like, no, was that the sign?
That was the sign.
That was the sign. And we know, we feel it.
And that's what I mean. It's just like energy comes in all kinds of ways, and we're connected to everything, animals, plants.
And they've proven this in science. When they get to this, they've said this. When you get to the subatomic level, you can't tell the difference between anything.
Exactly.
Everything becomes connected. Everything becomes one singular energy. And it's almost like all we are like we're just vibrating at a different level than this is vibrating at. And what this area is vibrating at a kind of a very open vibration. And this is a solid vibration. We're solid vibration. But other than that, it's all the same. It's all connected. We're all touching each other.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. I mean, just us being.
And do you
here.
feel like that's maybe what Jesus meant when he said, when you do this to the least of these, you do it unto me?
Yes. See, I don't want to go into the whole, because
And I don't want to make it religious either. I just that brought to mind. Because obviously being raised, I mean, we're in the church and raised in the church. And
that's exactly the meaning of it, basically. Yeah, because no matter how much you may not like a person or you see differences in this realm, when you get yourself out of your body and you really concentrate on energy, we are nothing different. We are completely 100% alike.
Well, exactly. And I've said that a lot. The rules of the universe apply to everybody, which I guess when I say that, what I'm saying is the rules of energy apply to everybody. It doesn't matter how famous, how rich, how entitled, who your parents are. Nothing matters. Everybody gets hurt. Yes. Everybody feels pain. Everybody gets disappointed. Everybody loses somebody they love. Everybody has something happen to them that is completely and utterly unfair. And yet it happens.
Yeah.
And so nobody escapes the rules of the universe.
No, because it's there to teach us a lesson, which is to enjoy our lives and to experience things. The things we get to experience here are nothing like on the other side. The other side, we're just energy, and we're what we want to become. Here, we get to experience love. We get to experience feeling things and real enjoyment. Where on the other side is just peace. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to try.
There's no variation. It's just
there. You are.
So let me ask you this then: do you think people that are adrenaline junkies kind of brought that lesson with them into this life?
Yeah.
Like, and they got to maybe are there multiple lives?
I don't know about multiple lives.
Okay.
I know about doorways. I know about spiritual entities, and I know about demonic possession. All those things do exist. All those things are not like the movies, though. It's far worse because it's mental. It's in your physical body. People don't see the things that are happening to you or hear the voices that are talking to you. It's only you. And that's what makes it worse. Because now you look crazy to the rest of the world when they're the ones making you crazy. And entities like that, they really exist. Because I've gone across them a million times in my life. I mean, so far, where they tormented me, where I levitated off the bed. And it took my mother, my sister, and my father to do a 4-hour prayer session to get me under control. And
but it worked.
It worked. And this is how I know that it really was an entity. Something that wanted to possess me or something that wanted to torment me. Because my dad would put his hands on my body and it would move. The pain. It would go from one side to the other like he was
shift away from his hand.
Shift away from my father's hand. And the same with my sister and my mom. And it would go from my right side to my left side. Then from my left side to my stomach. From my stomach to my throat. What is that? And I would tell him, it feels like something's killing me from the inside out. Something's killing me from the inside out. It's like tormenting me. It's like it feels like someone's squeezing the life out of you.
Because they want your energy.
Because they want my energy.
How did do you have any idea? I mean, I guess, I don't know how you would know, but is there some concept as to how evil energies, like, how did these get created? Where did they come from? And why are they part of this existence?
Well, those entities were created from the beginning of time. They were here long before we were. Yeah. And that was why God created the earth.
It's just part of the creation of the universe.
Yes.
Like part of it, and so this is part of this realm, this earth, this world.
Well, that and they want what we have. They want what we have. They want our light. They want to feel what we feel. They want to have a physical body. See, that energy no longer is allowed here. See, God put up barriers. And when he did that, there's certain doors you can't come through. And that's why they can't possess me. But you go to other countries and people are just like that possessed. Just like they walk into the wrong place and it's boom, it's picked you and is now an you. And you're now just consumed by it. That's because you don't believe in anything. And if you don't have any belief in another power or even in yourself, you're an open target. And that's why it happens to children, because we're innocent and our brains are not completely fully developed. So there's little cracks everywhere to come in.
Wow.
And then that gives them a body to experience what we have, which they can't. All they get to do is roam. They get to fly around. They get to scare us. They can try to like do some hokey pokey stuff because they're energy. But they don't have the power that we have in one body. See, human beings are like lightning in a bottle. And
Yeah.
they have no idea about it. And the fact that we are is what they want. They want to be able to exist in a body and to feel and to produce. And they can't. They're just evil energy.
Wow.
And see, people don't understand that our energy can control that energy. And instead of controlling it, we allow it in. We leave a doorway open for them to just slither themselves through. And then we have all these problems. We got poltergeists, we've got exorcisms now we have to do because what happened? People went searching for answers that they themselves already have. And by doing that, you opened the door. And when you open that door, now this came in. And then when that came in, it came in with a legion of demons. And I call them demons because they're not something normal. They're not human beings. They're not spirits that have passed on. It's just pure evil energy that takes on forms to make us believe that they're real, to make us believe that there's something special about them. And there's nothing special about them. They're what got stuck in the between. They're not allowed in heaven. They don't want to go back to hell. So they torment the rest of us. And that's just kind of, that's what it does. That's what they are. Even with those people with the ancient aliens, no, they're demons. And they've taken on a form to try to seduce us into believing that there's something special, and they're not. And if you think that you're gonna find some great answer with them, they'll give you knowledge, and then they'll put you in a grave. And that's what really happens when you play with the wrong energy, when you open too many doors you can't close.
Right. So, so what is then the point of this? Is this journey, I guess to say this, is this journey a punishment? Is it a lesson to be learned? Or is it a vacation?
Geez, I don't know how to interpret that one. I really don't. All I can say is that I want people to understand that there is another side and that this isn't the only life you get. But we're not supposed to go there faster. We're supposed to get there when it's our time. And it sucks that people die early on sometimes from diseases and things like that because it's not meant to be. You're not supposed to die early on. They want you to exist here. And then on the other side is a whole different concept. It's a whole different idea of life.
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's much bigger than even our picture. It is. It's something completely different. And there is no interpreting it because I'm not a god and I can't say what created the earth for reals. All I can say is that it's up there and it's real and I can sense it every day. And my door opens every now and then and just like a flicker of light that goes on and off whenever it wants to. I mean, I knew that my father was going to die. And it was hard to feel that and to know those things because I couldn't stop it.
Hi, I'm comedian Greg Romero Wilson. If you're watching this, then you probably just finished watching part of the documentary interview I did with my extraordinary sister Sarah Wilson and her experiences with the afterlife and the other side. Unfortunately for Sarah's incredible journey to continue, she needs a kidney transplant, and given her unique physical conditions, that means it has to come from a living donor, which means myself or one of Sarah's other brothers. And while we are ready, willing, and able to help, unfortunately, that means twice the surgeries, twice the expense, twice the recovery, twice the medications, twice the travel and accommodations. And obviously insurance isn't going to cover all of that. So we've started a GoFundMe. And if this interview in any way touched your lives, spoke to you, we would love your support at this time. If you can help us out, anything you give would be greatly appreciated. Just go to the link that you find in the description of this video. Thank you very much. From my family to yours, God bless.